I was sent this amazing box by Bushiro. That's right, I am John Wick fighting his way out of being
excommunicado.
And today I get to share with you a really cool product. So this is the Premium Battle Deck Set. This is basically one box, and inside it you have two different decks. In terms of buying a box and having a ready deck, this is the closest I think Vanguard has ever gotten so far. Like in the past we've had legend decks, but usually there was like a lot of changes you still wanted to do, whereas I feel the Granblue one in here in particular is like so ready. And of course you can always upgrade them with a variety of cards. So like I said before, we have Granblue and we have Pale Moon. We all know I'm a huge Granblue fan, of course. Comes with a bunch of reprints as well, some of which have been like very necessary. Some cards have been going up like crazy. But how about we open up this bad boy? Oh, if you want to see the side of the box, we have like Granblue, we have Pale Moon, and on this side we have Pale Moon, and on this side we have Granblue, and then on the back we see everything that's inside. But once I start, you know, cutting this open, we will get the same. So all right, time to open up this beauty. And we have, wait, hold up, we have foil quick shields. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but there are like SP versions of these quick shields, but now we're also getting foil ones. All right, I'm gonna start with the Granblue because we all know I'm the biggest Granblue simp ever. But okay, I did not know what to expect. Okay, so I'm guessing we get like foil quick shields, which is pretty crazy. I do not know what this is. Is this like the gift markers or something? Okay, so we have our quick shield, and then we have, whoa, okay, so we have the protect markers. Wait, these are foil as well? These are like double rare? Whoa, okay, so if you can see, it has like a slight foiling to it. You basically have Granblue specific protect markers. Okay, one of them is foil, and then the other ones are not foil. Okay, so if you want to really bling this out, you would have to find multiples from other people. Ho. Okay, so we have our other protect markers. It's actually really cool. I'm straight up, I'm like someone who loves to max out. I will be playing this in my deck now. Like, this is really cool. Next up, oh, and then the same thing for protect too. Okay, so you can see you have like a little bit of that rainbowy gold here. So if you're trying to max out your Granblue and Pale Moon deck, this is also gonna be part of that. Okay, so we have our protect 2s, and then, oh, a going second and going first. Oh no, only going second? Wait, Pale Moon one gonna be going first? Okay, but also foil. Pretty cool addition. Of course, layered with your clan stuff. I really like that they did add this, because my main concern was like, if this is only reprints, what is someone who's like rarity maxing like me gonna do when I already have most of the cards? But this is like a really cool little extra. Like, they didn't need to do this, so this is cool. Cool addition. Gonna add my Protect 2 as well. So these are going straight into my actual deck. Well, I have this in SP, my bad. These are going straight into my actual deck. So then the deck. So I'm taking this out, like you get this. You also have count. Oh, we'll get to that later. I am so professional, I swear. So we'll get to the deck right now. So I think this is just your main deck and your G-Zone. So we have the G-Zone right here, and then we have the main deck. I've spoken a little bit about the deck list before already when they were first announced, and I was a big fan. I really liked the deck lists that they came up with. Now, were they like completely ready? Of course not. They didn't take a world's list, copy-pasted, of course. But overall, just to get started, like pretty incredible. So we're starting off with, okay, so I see. So you have one Nitros in foil in your triple rare looking thing, basically, and then one in common, which is pretty cool because I've never seen this in common before because it never existed before. So you have your two Nitros. I know some people were asking why only two Nitros, is it not complete then? Well, basically Nitros is usually not maxed out in premium. And the reason is you want to really dump this with the Obadiah Stride and then ride this with Bad Bounty the next turn. So this is more of like, you do want to have some so you can dump them and then rewrite them, but it's not going to be your main ride all the time. And that's why there's only two in here. Then we have Skull Dragon, of course, the important beater. Then we have Beatrice, and this is usually gonna be your main ride. Now, of course, if you want, you can play a Nitros-centric version of the deck. So you could play 4 of this if you really wanted to. You could also play a variety of splits, like some people play 3-2, 2-3, 4-1. You can kind of choose, but so here they went from like the slightly lower Nitros count, which is completely fine. Then we have the 4 Beatrices. So as you can see right here, they're really going for this as your main ride and this as your backup. Usually, I like to max rarity, of course, but it being common is so weird to see that I'm actually pretty excited for it. Then we have Nightstorm in double rare rarity right here. As you can see, just like the foiling, but no harsh sparkle. And I gotta say, this might be my favorite Nightstorm, because the previous one was common, and then we went straight for like the reprint triple rare thing that I wasn't a huge fan of. This is actually pretty neat. This might become my actual Nightstorm now. And then we have another common one. This is the Nightstorm your girlfriend tells you not to worry about, you know? And then we have Nightstorm. Okay, then Greed Shade. Once again, we have in like the double rare kind of foiling and then in the common foiling. And then same thing for the Columbards. So we have 4 Columbard. This is going to be your right target. And then the Greed Shades are more of like a backup thing. You're going to dump them with Obadiah. Of course, it's nice to draw it early as well. But depending on how you play the build, like either you play 4 for like a really going ham early build, but you could also play the one where you just ride up instantly and then you don't need as many anymore, because then you're really just trying to dump it off Obadiah. Then we have Ghost Chips. We have, oh, hello. Okay, so Skeleton Cannoneer here in the double rarity. I actually prefer this as well. This is nicer than the triple rarity thing we had before. We have 2 Skeleton Cannoneer. We have our Sea Strolling Banshee, because this dumps from the deck. We have our, whoa, okay, this is the exact same. Once again, we had like the reprint triple rare thingy on Bone as well. I actually prefer this as well. Then we have Dancing Cutlass. Then we have Tommy. This is the Tommy that searches for Nitros. When I saw Tommy, I actually thought they meant the V one, but it seems like they want to give you the option to search for the Nitros you want if you want to ride it. Okay. Then we have Grenache in the double rarity as well. Now, personally, I do have an SP of this one, so, you know, but still pretty cool. Then we have our Over Trigger, and then we have our Heal Guardians, 3. We have our Draw PGs, 4. I do know some people are like, oh, we're not playing Draw PGs, we might deck out. Actually, in my real Granblue build, I'm playing 3 Draw PGs right now. Purely because like the format got so aggressive earlier that you started needing the draws, weirdly enough. So even now, I'm still playing 3. I might go down to 2 now that some things got banned. But so don't be afraid, like I don't want to play Draw PGs. Like Granblue with Draw PGs is pretty solid right now. Also because we have so many good grade 1s currently. Spots can get tight. Then we have our Chad, the Ghosty, good to start striding, and then triple Mick. 3 Mick I do find quite a lot personally. If I were you, you know, I would just grab a Stoichea crit or 2 of them and, you know, cut the mix. You can still play a mix, you still have access to some of those cool plays, but that way you have a little more crits. But yeah, overall, a really solid starting list in my opinion. Like if I wanted to start playing Granblue, this is like so close to ready. Then we have the G zone right here. So we have our Nitros promo. We have this, oh, in the double rare foiling. I like it. This is like one of the few strides that actually does something when you don't have CB. But of course, you could also play Old Obadiah for that. I was playing Old Obadiah for that, but I've tried this one before as well. It depends on how many holo units you're playing. Then we have Big Obadiah. Then we have, oh, okay. Here we go. So this Obadiah is actually the highest rarity version of Obadiah you can get. So I can actually use this to bling out my deck further. That's really cool. I'm gonna have a pile of like rarity upgrades specifically from this set. Then this card, oh, okay. So I do have to say right now, this card has not been run in quite a while, but I love this card's art. And I've actually tried to play it, I think right before Bartholomew, because this card was the only way to do the Nitros V style turn while still having triple drive. So I was like kind of trying something like that. I didn't end up sticking with it because I then swapped to another clan for that season, but it's something to keep in mind. Then we have a Bartholomew, really solid. We have a Bad Bounty, haha, the card I got to reveal. Speaking of which, still one of my favorite cards of all time. Then we have Nora, the Banshee here, and then 2 Lily for all of the Lily plays. As you know, I've done a lot of Granblue profiles in the past, specifically because I also topped a fair bit with Granblue in Premium. So if you want to see like a variety of some of the combos and deeper explanations, you can check out those videos as well. Now, I know I went over Granblue very long. Sorry for that, but of course it's my favorite clan. I will still try to give a lot of love to Pale Moon, because I do have to say, while right now, I think if you have to grab these decks, I think the Granblue one is a bit better. I think once History Collection comes out, which will be dropping in, I believe, this summer, you'll be able to upgrade these decks, and I think the Pale Moon one will actually become stronger in comparison. Because right now, the Granblue one, you know, you have a sick ride-up, you have great strides and so forth, and then Pale Moon kind of like dips in power level on that ride-up because you still need to live and so forth. The thing is, once History Collection drops, I think Pale Moon's ride-up and ability to live is gonna get so much better that this might start like edging out Granblue, weirdly enough. Put this to the side. Oh, look at that foiling. Okay, I'm gonna put it right here so you can enjoy our little chubby buoy, cute little guy. So now let's open up Pale Moon. Oh, also, these will be available in stores on May 12th if you're interested. So that's a little while from now. I think thick 2 weeks. History Collection is August 11. So for Pale Moon, of course, we have the quick shield like we showed before. And then we also have the markers once again with like the fancy foiling here. Gonna go through them a little bit faster because you've seen them now. Axel 2 Pale Moon style. Very cool. And then, oh, so this is the going first one. So Granblue got the going second one and then Pale Moon got the going first one. That's pretty cool. Neat little thing. So now you need to put both in your deck box, I guess. Oh, no, I get why. It's because you buy this with a friend and then you play against each other and you each have like 1/2 of the cards. Okay, that makes more sense. Then for the actual deck, let's go over it. So we have 4 Harry. And so the reason this one is giving you the 4 is because here you do actually intend to ride up specifically into the same one always. Whereas here it's like, do I ride Nitros or do I ride Beatrice? You kind of have that choice. So we have our 4 Harry. Then we have Starry Pop Dragon. I think once again, this is the highest rarity version for Starry Pop, which is really cool. If you don't know, Starry Pop basically gets gigantic because of Harry's stacking skill with like the Excel markers. It's pretty fancy. You will need like a little while to get into it though. Granblue and Pale Moon are both some of the more complex decks actually. You will get the hang of it once you start practicing, of course, but these are both like the more in-depth, cool, high ceiling decks in Premium in my opinion. Also, Tricky Assistant. This is the highest rarity version of that. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty cool. I think in this list, you do not have access to the Denial Griffin play. So right now in this list, she's only able to just pop Honolise, which is fine, but you will have to actually add the Denial Griffin play afterwards if you want to do it, I believe. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Then we have 4 of the Pigeon. We have Lunatic. These are all just part of the Magia Doll stuff. Then we have Crescent Moon Juggler, which is a attack extender because you like call it out with other stuff and then it creates even more calls. Then we have Dancing Princess of the Night Sky. This really needs a reprint because this card had just been going up and up and up and only had 1 printing back in the day and was just a crucial way to set up your soul specific. So it's good that it has a nice reprint here, especially because it's also higher rarity. The original Dancing Princess of the Night Sky is like the rare foiling, which is fine, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, whereas this is just, ooh, a bit nicer. We got 2 of that. Personally would have loved to see 4 of this, though then again, it can also be a very bricky card. Like if you see multiples, this card doesn't do anything, and 3 would have been awkward, so I kind of get it, but still. Then we have our Paratrooper, we have our Mirror Master, we have our Flying Periton, and then we have the Masquerade Bunny. I guess they did this to mirror the Tommy the Ghosty that we had in the Nitros deck. Then we have Purple Trapezist. Once again, big fan of this rarity. 4 copies of that. That's really good. Then we have our Happiness Collector as our starter. We have our Over Trigger, and then we have basically all the triggers again. So a bunch of these, and also these are actually really solid. In the Granblue deck, I told you to maybe cut 2 of the Mick for some Stoichea critical triggers. Here, I actually think you can keep these. Like, these are really solid in this deck. Then, for the G-Zone, we have our Masquerade Master Harry as a 2-off. We have Mephisto, which is basically what we were playing before Masquerade Master Harry came out. This would actually build your field, and then this one is basically like multi-attack and so forth. Then this is removal, but it's not the strongest removal. And then we have 2 Millward, and then 1 Dark Lord Princess and 1 Yvette. Now, do note that Dark Lord Princess basically turns every stride into extra copies. It would have been cool to have 1 more Dark Lord Princess, so that's something you definitely want to be picking up. If you are looking to upgrade these, I would go ahead and get a Dark Lord Princess from the Premium Collection from a few years ago, because this is like usually gonna be your primary stride you're gonna be going into. Then we have our Yvette, and then we also have the Leontina right here. Now, in terms of G-Guardians, we have this guy, and this guy is absolutely insane. Like, it is wild how some clans cannot play around this thing. And also, if your opponent doesn't know how to play around this thing, they will just lose their turn. Like, this can be a turn skip if your opponent is playing wrong or is unable to play around it. Like, if Highlander, for example, which was one of the best decks at Worlds, didn't have a Justine or some other extender like that, they would actually always die to this card, which is crazy. Then we have Wandering Dragon, and we have 2 of the Cold Heart right here. Personally, if I were to start upgrading this deck, I would definitely get some more G-Guardians. I think it's a similar story for this one, though I do have to say Lily is probably going to be like the best G-Guardian most often, so that's probably fine. But still, I think with 4 G-Guardians, you definitely want to replace some of the strides with some G-Guardians. Again, the Premium Collections from back then will help you. But of course, History Collection is also gonna be coming out, and that will probably change even more. If you're looking to like replace your Mick, for example, right here, However, you will probably want to do that with the Rampage Shade reprint that's coming in that set as well. Now, next, I haven't gone over these little accessory thingies just yet. So I think these are just basic playmats, so people can learn the rules in peace, which is pretty solid. Let's go over that. So these are like the very, very original, most basic playmat. So if you're still learning right now, you know you won't be messing up anything. You have a very clear Guardian Circle, you have very clear rearguard circles, damage zone, and so forth. So okay, that's cool. You got 2 of these. Again, this feels like something you buy with a friend and then just start playing against each other. And then we have these like little counters. So you have power, you have intercept, you have over trigger. Oh, and we even have holo counters right here. So for the Granblue enthusiasts here, you have holo counters. So that was a quick overview for the premium battle deck set for Granblue and Pale Moon. I quickly showed you the cards that I'm actually most excited about right here. Again, these are just rarity upgrades for me, but of course it's completely different for people who do not own these cards yet. If you still wish to pick this up, I'm gonna have a link in the description to local game stores you can check out to go order this product from. And if you still want more information, there's also gonna be a link down there so you can check that out. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.